What's going on Facebook and YouTube? I'm Ronny Philip with the Kingly Group at Keller Williams Realty. Coming to you live from my office here in North Dallas. I have my very awesome friend and mentor, Mr. Kevin Brown.
Hey, Ronny, how you doing?
Good, how about you, man? Finally up here, but he's with KDB Properties and KDB Funding. If you are watching this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Leave us some comments so that way we know who's watching. So Kevin has built a multi-million-dollar real estate investment empire by the time of 27. By the time he was 27, and he owns 25 properties right now. So give us a little bit of background of who you are and how'd you get started in real estate?
Yeah, man. So, I mean, real estate was kind of the only thing. It's pretty much the only thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
From a professional standpoint.
Uh-huh.
Graduated high school and didn't have a whole lot going on, and moved down here. Got my license when I was 19 or 20, and joined DPR. Tried the traditional route, and sometimes you got to know what you're good and bad at. And I'm not a very good traditional agent.
So like you started real estate as a real estate agent.
Yeah,
correct?
that was the goal. That was the thought process.
Okay.
And it didn't work out so well.
So
changed your direction and started, doing a little bit of investing, stuff.
Okay, so you joined our office, Keller Williams, Dallas Preston Road. Was that one of the key factors to getting you started here in real estate?
Yeah, absolutely. If you look at the stepping stones that kind of got me to where I am today, a big part of that is this office and just the different people in the office. Brett's the one that kind of realized I was struggling as a traditional agent, partnered me up with Tavis, and he did a lot of investing stuff, and he obviously still does. But I worked for him for, it had to have been maybe almost 2 years, and in that role, kind of got to see the ins and outs of what it looks like to acquire a property, to renovate a property, to find a tenant, to find a buyer. And so that kind of really brought me in the direction that I've gone since then.
So everyone has a mentor in their life or their career. Who have been your mentors so far as real estate and life goes?
I think obviously first and foremost Tavis, helping me get started. Like I said, showing me the ropes of that, and when I worked for him, and then from there it's just been a handful of different people, like the same way you and I work together. Just you meet different people at different levels, different stages of their life, and you just kind of bounce ideas off of them. They'll bounce ideas off of you. Just different people. A lot of times in this office, sometimes not. But yeah, so I would say starting with Tavis and then just a million different people.
Yeah, so I mean our office here in DFW, we sold 1.5 billion last year in 2016. So I mean the amount of knowledge and different properties that we come across. Sometimes these properties don't even hit the MLS, and
right.
Investors
especially now.
Yeah,
especially now.
Investors like Kevin come and swoop in and buy it before it ever hits the market. So there's a lot of people on here that are millennials. So if you're a millennial, please watch this whole video, because it makes a huge difference in what you focus on as far as investing, because you can be like Kevin and pretty much retired by the time you're 27. So
How about that, man? I work a little bit.
Work a little bit here and there, but so you have 25. I think you just acquired another one. 26 properties.
26 as of last Friday.
26 properties by the time he is 27 years old. What was your strategy and game plan as far as acquiring the rental properties?
So for me, like I said, I was looking to traditional real estate as that source of income. And like I said, being honest with yourself and knowing your strengths and weaknesses, it wasn't going to happen for me.
Yeah.
I wasn't ever going to be, a real estate, traditional real estate team leader. It just wasn't my thing. It's not one of my strengths. So at that point, kind of had to decide, okay, well, do I want to go back to college? What do I want to do? Or start college? And it, at the time, that was when our market was really, really low, 2008, 2009. And Tavis was doing some investing stuff, and it was kind of like, well, I'm helping these other people buy rent houses and generate income that way. What's the worst that can happen? So I bought my first one in Carrollton in 2009. I bought 3 that year, one in Plano, one in Dallas. And from there, kind of got my feet wet and started generating some income and some revenue. and just started growing it. You know, when an opportunity comes up, you know, you either jump on it or you let it walk away, and I jumped on more than I let walk away at the time.
Yeah, so I mean 2008, 2009 obviously was the best time ever in real estate as far as acquisitions
Right.
for the investment side. So
Right.
like as far as the different markets you invest in, like where do you usually invest and buy properties in?
So as far as buying, what I actively hold right now, we've got Dallas and then Wichita Falls, which is a town about 2 hours north of Dallas, northwest of Dallas. So those two cities for now.
Yeah, my brother actually lives in, and a few of my friends live in
Yeah.
Wichita Falls for nursing school. So it's I feel like it's a really good sub market as far
For sure.
as far as you know buy and holds go. So
Right, for
I mean here in Dallas, I feel like rental properties are the good ones are hard to come by. So
Right, especially now.
what's been your strategies is finding stuff that's been off the market and it's been profitable for your criteria?
So a lot of it is direct to owner, you know, mailers and things like that, postcards. Try to get the phone to ring from that standpoint. And again, I think part of it is just looking at the market and as it shifts, maybe going in a different direction. So I didn't own anything in Wichita Falls until, June of last year, and I just bought my 12th up there.
June of last year, and
Yeah.
it's been less
Maybe-
than a year.
Actually, it might have even been later than June. But yeah, so I think, you know, there's still a ton of people buying stuff, you know, buying hold here in the Metroplex and making a good amount of money. You know, they're buying great houses. But at the same time, for me, that wasn't where I wanted to be anymore here in DFW. The market, as you know, it's as high as it's ever been. And again, I'm not just saying that it's a bad idea to buy stuff now, but for me, it wasn't something that I was super interested in. So I shifted and started buying up there. So that was...
So like, what is your? So you have 25 properties. Do you have property management in place for these, or?
I don't. I've got a team of people that, you know, at least from a renovation or a rehab or repair standpoint, you know, my phone typically rings, and I'll make a couple phone calls. But yeah, I manage it myself for the time being.
Awesome. And what's your plans in the future, like as far as like acquisitions?
So when I first got started, I thought, well, if I can get to 25 houses, that'll be at a certain income level, and then I can really slow down. And you're there, and then you realize, well, maybe 25 is not where I really want to be.
Yeah.
So I'd like to say 50. If I can get to 50 in the next 3 to 5 years, I think I'd feel pretty good about where I'm at. So I think 50 doors would be my goal for the short term.
Okay, 50 doors. And are you doing single family, multifamily, commercial?
Right now, everything is single family. As far as rent houses that I own, I've done a couple deals from a lending standpoint on multifamily. I did a couple commercial lending deals, but properties that I am actively looking to acquire is all single family for now.
Awesome. So it's been single family.
Yes, sir.
So if you had to start all over again in 2017, what would you do to rebuild your business?
So to rebuild it, or if I could go back and start again now?
Yeah.
Which one? To rebuild it or to start over?
Start over,
Start over. I do the same thing. I obviously wish I would have bought more.
Yeah.
In 2009, right? You know, I wish I would have gone harder then. So I guess if I knew now what I knew then, I'd buy a bunch more back in 2009. There's a bunch of houses that, you know, back in that market I sold or I wholesaled off that I wish I would have kept.
Yeah.
So I think if I could go back and I, you know, fix, I don't know, they call them mistakes, but, you know, in the long run they are mistakes. I wish I would have kept a lot of that stuff that I sold back in 2009, 2010. I wish I still had them for sure. And I would have started lending sooner.
Okay.
It was something that I knew what it was as a business, but I never thought about doing it myself. And I wish if I could go back to 2009, 2010 when I started, I would have done that, started that business earlier too.
Okay, what about for 2017? Say you're brand new in real estate and you want to get 20, like I'm 23 right now,
Right.
so I want to be at 25 properties by the time I'm 27.
Right.
What steps would us young millennials take to start building that portfolio?
I mean, obviously, first is to have a little bit of savings. You know, you don't want to. I think that's something that people jump into, and I see it a lot in the lending side. Is they want to be an investor and they have some capital, but they don't have enough to where I think they're making smart decisions.
Yeah.
You know, at a certain point, if you're leveraging every dime you have, you're making a smart investment in the sense that it's real property. Obviously, I love real estate as an investment vehicle, but I think, you know, one of those first mistakes is to go too quick, too fast, before, you know, you really get a feel for it. The other thing, like I said, on the flip side of that would be when you are ready, identify an opportunity and jump on it. I think so many people, I think they call it analysis paralysis, right?
Yeah.
Where you're looking at deals and you're looking at them, and if you look at the numbers hard enough, you can kind of start to make them do whatever you want them to do.
Yeah.
And that can go either way.
Yeah.
You can force yourself to believe that this deal is good when really it's not, or you can force yourself, well, you know, I don't want to jump on this one yet. I need to wait for a better deal. And then you end up being 30, 35, and you haven't ever pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
You know, so I would say
start now and start taking massive
start now,
action.
take some action, but make it smart. You know, don't somewhere in the middle between overanalyzing and being too aggressive, right?
Yeah.
But I would say, just when you find an opportunity, just target it and go for it.
Yeah. So you started real estate investing became a lot more competitive this past few years. So we discussed you started a new venture. So tell us more about what KDB Funding is.
So 2 years ago, and again, I say this, you know, with the knowledge that there's a bunch of people that are just as active now as they were before we hit that peak, and they're making a ton of money. They're killing it. For me, this wasn't really the market as far as flipping goes. I flipped houses full time for about 5 or 6 years, and it got to the point now where you're going on these appointments and you're making these offers that, you know, you're comfortable with those numbers, and you get beat out by 20 grand.
Yeah.
You know, and you know the dude who bought that house is going to lose money.
Yeah.
He's going to get killed. He paid too much, but he had to pay too much because if he didn't, he wasn't going to get the deal.
Yeah.
So instead of, you know, dealing with that, I used that capital that I had set aside for flips to start doing some lending.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's a newer investor who, for whatever reason, can't go to a bank, and they have some cash, but they don't have enough to fund it themselves. So they'll come to me or someone like me, and they'll have a deal, and they'll say, look, Kevin, I've got this deal, the numbers work, I need some financing, but I can't go to Chase Bank because I don't have the credit score, I don't have the track record. So we'll partner together, and then I'll fund the deal, basically act as a bank.
Yeah,
for these purchases.
So explain to us what hard money lending is, because there's a lot of people in my audience that don't even know what that is.
Right. So again, kind of like I said, the gist of it is, it's basically like a loan. It's a loan. It's basically like a bank loan, but for whatever reason, it's you know, typically implemented on deals that a bank doesn't want to do.
Yeah.
So either the borrower doesn't have, you know, the credit or the history, or the property itself maybe needs too much work. So I'll step in and fund those deals and work with the investor to get those deals closed and rehabbed and sold.
So as far as like the hard money lending, like what type of people are you looking for as far as like?
Anybody with a vision and a willingness to do the deal, and somebody who has a deal, whether I find it and wholesale it off. I haven't done much of that, but you know, somebody who's, for whatever reason, they found it word of mouth or on MLS or from a wholesaler. They've got a deal, they want to flip some houses, and like I said, for whatever reason, they can't go to a normal bank or a normal lender. Give me a call, and we'll see if we can't make that work.
Yeah. So so as far as hard money goes, he is the guy for it. And you don't only do hard money lending in Dallas. I've seen you doing deals across the nation.
Yeah. So again, from a competition standpoint, as our market got crazier and crazier, it turned into a situation where I looked into different markets again. And so currently we're funding deals in New Orleans, in the Pennsylvania area, mostly Pittsburgh, and in Vegas, and Oklahoma City. We did one in Oklahoma City too.
Awesome. And
so
like
4 states.
What? So outside of Dallas, are you going to start expanding into different markets as far as like the real estate holdings go, or?
Yeah. So as far as that goes, like I said before, if an opportunity presents itself, I haven't been pushing those real estate, you know, those single family acquisitions in these markets. But as I learn more and more about that market, it's absolutely a possibility. If it's a good opportunity, it's definitely something I'm not going to shy away from. I've looked into some duplexes in Pittsburgh, didn't jump on it, but it's definitely a possibility in the future.
Awesome. And so, what does your future look like 5 years from now?
5 years from now, you know, ideally, like I said, 50 doors. If I can get to 50 doors, that's the short-term goal, and then just continuing to expand the lending side of the business, different markets, and kind of continue to grow that here in Texas as well. And then I do plan to flip, you know, some more houses here in the future. Our market's starting to kind of taper off a little bit to where I'm more comfortable with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, 5 years, like I said, I'd like to have 50 doors and continue to grow that lending side of the business.
Yeah, I mean, 5 years from now, I mean, you're 27 right now, so by the time you're 32,
Right.
you'll have 50 properties.
Hopefully.
That's pretty impressive.
That's the plan. That's the plan.
And
And then, you know, kind of step back a little bit
Yeah.
from the business and spend, you know, more time at the house.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, your journey has been absolutely incredible as far as in the real estate business. I mean, that's why I wanted to put you on the show, because there's a lot of people who don't even think this is a possibility,
Right.
but it is possible. So,
Right.
I mean, if what's one thing our audience can do to support you as far as your business? Or,
Man, let's just keep growing together.
Yeah.
You know, you and I have worked together on a bunch of stuff,
Mhm.
and as far as that goes, if you've got some deals or you have any questions, you know, feel free to shoot me an email, a Facebook message. I'll be happy to kind of walk anybody through a deal, an acquisition or a loan, either side. And yeah, let's just work together on this stuff.
Yeah. So, Kevin Brown, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Awesome.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, please give me a call. Love to help you out. And if you want to learn more and dive deeper into the real estate investing side, give me a call as well, and I'll connect you with Kevin.
Perfect.
And then let's make some things happen. So
do it.
thank you all so much for watching this video and taking time out of your day. If you haven't given me a thumbs up already, make sure you do. And hope you all have a fantastic day.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Take care.